All right, we'll turn it loose. Questions?
So, Brock, could you just walk us through kind of those two throws beginning of the game? What kind of happened there? Was one a miscommunication? The ball slip out of your hands? What kind of?
Both throws. The first one basically where the guy kind of alley-ooped it to Harley in the end zone. Basically, we're running a take route, which is we kind of stressed that week. That's something we're going to try to take advantage of. Both routes were take routes, and it's a quarters beater. We knew Murray State was a big quarters team, and basically Harley had kind of weaved them, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a good ball. On really both of them, not good balls. The second one kind of slipped out of my hand, but I mean that stuff happens, and just kind of double clutched on the first one. But when that happens, just gotta go find the check down. When stuff isn't timing out right, when your feet are telling you to move on, something Coach Hammond's talked to us about. Feet are telling you to move on, find the check down, and live to see another play.
Just to clarify, when you say take, is it just an option? Like Harley has two routes he can run, and
it's basically it's a post, but it's basically on how the corner plays it, like inside or outside leverage. He can wrap it or keep it skinny and go inside. So just kind of a miscommunication, but at the end of the day, both balls were not balls I was pleased with.
Cody said after the game Saturday, he's learned so much from you, learning under you this season. How do you feel like he played, and how do you feel like you played, and how did that dynamic work?
Yes, sir. I thought that was probably one of my lesser days ever throwing the football. Was not really excited with my performance. Glad that the offense lifted me up. Being able to run the ball, threw the ball. Very mediocre in my opinion, but Cutter went out there and he was lights out. It was great being able to watch him. All the stuff that he practices in practice, seeing that pay off, especially for a young guy. All three of us on the sideline were as juiced as anybody. Watching him go out there and shred, and that wasn't anything new to us. I mean, that kid's a baller. He's a great kid to be around, great dude to be in the quarterback room with. And I've learned a lot from him as well this year. Just kind of different perspectives, how we see stuff, but just try to be not like a big brother, but just like a older guy in the quarterback room, like Stetson and Carson were to me, and obviously try to teach him as much as I can. He watches me play. Obviously don't do that on two take balls. Pretty common sense, but other than that, been a great time with Cutter.
You guys have played well against Ole Miss, against Georgia, some of the bigger games. This kind of feels like one of those type of games. Is there any correlation between how you played there and how you might play this weekend, or is it just a chance thing?
I'd say it's more of just kind of how the game goes sometimes. We prepare every week the same, whether it's Murray State, Southern Miss, Texas, Ole Miss. We're trying to get better. I'm speaking for the offense mostly because obviously, but we practice every week like it's the Super Bowl, like it's the bye week. We're going out there, we're getting better, trying to get better than Kentucky offense was yesterday, and really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. They got a great team, and we believe our game plan is good. Kind of fine tune some stuff now. Obviously, have walkthroughs tomorrow and hit it fast again on Friday. But prepping every week hasn't been any different. But it's going to be great to be able to go in there in that atmosphere.
Brock, it seems like you're all doing more or higher volume of under center stuff.
Sure.
How big of adjustment has that been for you, and do you feel like you're growing as a quarterback from playing under center?
Sure. So going basically all the way back to high school per se, I probably took 3 under center snaps in my 3 years of playing quarterback. Then at Georgia, asked to be under center a little bit more, just because that's kind of an O-line running back thing more than it is really quarterback ball handling. But it's just we like some of our angles on some of our run plays, like the naked game that it gives to us, our play action plays, and that stuff has to be cleaned up. My actions they were very mediocre on Saturday in our under center game, which you could tell. I mean the linebackers, they weren't stepping up at all. I got to do a better job of that, but. Under center is getting ready for the NFL, and anybody in that locker room is wanting to go play at the next level, and so doing things that are going to prepare you for the next level and being able to be comfortable under center is something that's pretty important. And if that's what gives us the best chance to win, then let's go under center every snap.
Rob, despite the timing and communication issue there, it was clear that you guys wanted to get Harley involved early. What's it meant to the offense getting him back healthy and the additional option he gives you?
Yes, sir. He's a great ball player. He actually caught a dig ball that might have been the 2-minute drive, but he caught basically a dig, and he got cracked by the safety pretty good. But it was a tight window, and kind of put it in there. But I mean, he went in there. He made a great, I wouldn't say contested, but he made a great catch knowing he was going to get hit. And that's the type of kid that Harley is. He's going to go in every day. He's going to give you his all. I mean, it could be a run play. He's got man-to-man coverage on the outside. He's running guys off. He's running 100 miles an hour running this corner off. And he's just going to give his all on every play. And with Barryon not playing, with that game, obviously, Harley had to step up, and when his number was called, he was ready to go. And it's really good to see that, especially from a true freshman like that, being able to rely on those guys. And he played a bigger role in the Tennessee game with Barryon getting hurt, and just really excited for him and ready to watch him as he continues to grow.
Yeah, you've had to fight through some stuff. Have to play hurt this year. I know Coach Stoops said that you weren't totally clear to play last Saturday until Friday. What's that been like for you to go through that, for especially somebody in your position, quarterback?
Sure. It's not something like it's not like detrimentally hard, and it's not just really easy. But as a quarterback, going through the week, game weeks, you're gonna have probably anywhere from 15 to 20 new plays or ways you dress up plays, and not just our base offense, just because we're trying to take advantage of what we think that we did well maybe the week before, or what's going to work this week against a certain defense. And being able to practice is really good with like those routes in particular. But I'm not going to blame any of my play on Saturday for not practicing at all. There was just some stuff that just can't happen, especially quarterback Kentucky. That stuff just got to be better.
Stoops was pretty emphatic after in the press conference on Monday, saying that you're the starting quarterback. He praised Cutter, but said that you give them the best chance to win. Does that give you any confidence, knowing? I mean, you came here to be the guy. Obviously, you support all the other guys in that room, but you came here to start. So, does that give you confidence that you're the guy that's going to go out there and give them the best chance?
It's not a thing where you're like just really excited or mad about it or whatever, but it's just how it goes. When you don't play well, then obviously there's going to be speculation stuff, things of that sort. But my job is to go out there and play my best football. And I'm a third string guy, then I'm going to be the best third string guy I can be in the country. And I think that's important, especially from a quarterback position, a leadership position. Whether you're the captain of the ship or you're one of the deckhands, you got to do your job the best you can do, and people are going to look to the quarterback position. People watching at home, people in the locker room, coaches, it's a powerful position, and it's something that I take pride in, and I think all the guys in our room take pride in that, and whatever my role is to be the best in that role, and yeah.
Brock, it feels like before Arch committed to Texas, that Georgia was perceived as his leader for a long time. So I'm kind of curious, did you develop much relationship with him? And if so, do you still talk to him at all now?
No, sir.
Okay.
I have saw him on like maybe a visit or two, but
Okay.
never shook his hand or anything.
Couple more.
Yeah, talking about the quarterback room, Coach Stoops and Coach Hinman said all year that they really like the quarterback room. In fact, Coach Stoops said Monday, he saw you guys come back next year. But what do you feel like has been the strength? What's the relationship like among all four of you guys? And what do you think the strength of that room is?
Like as far as on the field or off the field, or
Both. Yeah, helping each other prepare and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Bo's kind of Coach Hammond jokes around with Bo a little bit about being like an older guy or whatever, but we're about the same age. And Bo, he brings kind of just that vet mindset to it, and him and Gavin, really just because they played a lot of ball, are two of the guys I go to a bunch on, even 7-on today in practice. Hey, what'd you see here? Was this guy open? Maybe it was something happened on the backside. Hey, did that guy win on that route? But they know kind of what I'm looking for. I know what they're looking for, and we're able to really communicate there. But Cutter, he's kind of maybe crack a joke or two in a meeting or something. Just kind of that, just the young dude, has a lot of energy, and that's just I think it's probably. I've really been blessed to be a part of two or three quarterback rooms that have just been awesome. You know, some guys dread going to meetings because they don't like their coach, they don't like the people around them, but that hasn't been the case. And I'd really do anything for those 3 dudes. They've done a lot for me.
What is it personnel-wise and schematically that makes Texas such a difficult challenge?
Yes, sir. So basically with Texas, they're going to be big up front. Their front 7 plays really well. They're really disciplined. They're going to basically it's kind of, you can see in the Georgia game, basically there's some guys getting depth, you know, per se. You got to be able to sustain drives against these guys. They're going to try not to get beat deep, so that means we got to stack together plays. And if it's not open, take off running and get vertical. You know, 3 yards is a lot better than -8. Got to be more disciplined with that, and you know, just basically take what they give you. There's sometimes there's only 3-man rush, so you might have time back there, but it's going to be tough to find somebody open when there's 8 guys dropping. But you know, being able to see that, see what covers they're in, and just take advantage of our game plan.
All right, folks, thank you very.
When you look at Texas's offense on film, what do you see?
A very skilled, dynamic group. They're deep at a lot of positions. Coach does a phenomenal job in terms of what they are attempting to do, stretching the ball down the field, but also balancing it with the run game, with the screen game. And so it'll be a great challenge our guys looking forward to.
When you see Arkansas play them pretty well, hold them to just 20, is there something there? And then what are you guys seeing as you guys prep this week of what it's going to take to hold them down a little bit?
Yeah, I think Arkansas did a really good job. You know, we look at everybody that they played in the past. I mean, literally every game we go through and see things that we do, right, that can carry over. And so, you know, they did a great job. I'm sure they'll look at that tape and have some adjustments as well. And so it's our job as coaches to find out what our guys do well, right, and put those guys in those situations as many times as possible. Again, within what we do, right? And so we study other teams and what they've had success with and try to marry it the best we can. But at the end of the day, it's about what we do and our guys going out there and executing that at a high level.
Chris, when you think about it, like you play like Georgia, Tennessee, Louisville, teams like that every year, but Texas, I mean, it's only the second time. Is this almost more like a bowl prep when you're looking at a team that you guys just really have no previous film of your team playing?
Well, not quite like a bowl prep because you got a lot more time for a bowl prep. But it's like playing every week, you know, in terms of your opponent, because the offenses adjust every year. Does that make sense? And so kind of how we go about it, you know, we'll have our off-season studies and all that stuff where we get a chance to get familiar with who we're going to play in that upcoming season. And so then as the season goes and you get into that game week, now you kind of have an idea of who they've been in the past. And so you say, okay, are they very similar, which most offenses are, right? And what tweaks have they done? And so that's kind of how we approach it. You know, the bowl, good thing about the bowl week, you got multiple weeks to be able to go about it, to do it. Before a game week, we're concentrating one game at a time.
Chris, it seems like offenses are aggressively attacking Ryan when he's out there in coverage. How have you seen him just kind of respond and keep coming at it, playing as a true freshman, maybe playing more than you all expected? Maybe
yeah, that's part of the position. You know, it may seem like he's getting attacked a lot, but in reality, all those guys are getting attacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a true freshman, so a lot of people pay a lot more attention to it. But that's part of the maturation process of playing that position, corner. And he doesn't shy from it. You know, he's learning from some of those. You know, you got to touch that hot stove. We call them scars. You got to learn from those scars. Hopefully, those scars happen in practice, right? But sometimes they happen in the game. And those ones cut a little deeper at times, but he's done a great job of being resilient, responding, and so I'm excited. Just like all the guys in the position group, it's a part of playing that spot.
Coach, what's it going to mean to have Dion, JJ, and DJ back this week?
Man, I'm excited about our roster. I always have been. You know, we've got young men that want to play the game and want to play it the right way. You know what I mean, in terms of with their hair on fire. And so anytime they can be on the grass with us, we're excited.
It was good timing to get Max back. You know, face, you know, Stoops kept talking about, you know, the Texas wide receivers being one of the best groups in the nation. So how do you like your secondary and getting them ready for the challenge against Quinn Ewers and those wide receivers?
Yeah, Quinn's a phenomenal quarterback, does a great job in terms of understanding where he wants to go with the football, and not only understanding where he wants to go with it because he has good players, but based off of what the scheme defensively gives him. I mean, they've got a plethora of receivers. I mean, from outside to inside ends, and the backs do a great job in the passing game as well. And so, Coach Sarkisian does a really good job, like I said earlier, being really balanced in that regard. Whether it's shots, screen game, intermediate throws, boots out the pocket. So we got a challenge, and we're excited. Our guys have been excited about our schedule from the beginning of the year, and it's keeping those guys focused on 1 week at a time.
People talk about that, right? I'm sorry.
John. Go on, John.
People talk about right now that like Ole Miss may be playing as well as anybody in the conference, if not the country. Going into a game like this, do you guys refer back to the Ole Miss game the way you played against Ole Miss when you go face a team like Texas, or do you even have to mention that?
Well, we challenge our guys. Our guys understand the expectation right in the building, right, for us to go out and not just play hard, but continue to grow. Does that make sense? Sometimes that growth is astronomical, and you can see it right away. Sometimes that growth is really small steps, right? But that's the challenge every week. And so they understand what the expectation is in terms of, okay, let's go out there and let's compete, let's grind, let's put our best foot forward, but let's continue to grow. And so you want to learn from, most of the time, successes, right? But sometimes you learn from failures too, right? But at the end of the day, it's about that growth, and that's where our message is being consistent. Let's continue to take steps, right, in the right direction, right? And build off of things in the past, whether those were positives or negatives.
Coach, how are you trying to game plan perhaps for Arch Manning as well as Quinn Ewers?
Tough. Arch has a little bit different kind of game, right? The system's a system and what they do, but he's an athletic kid, just like Quinn, but he can get out in space and, pull the ball, things of that nature. So, there's a fine line in terms of, okay, who they are as an offense, right, and then what he does as an individual player. Again, I think Sarkisian does a great job in terms of putting those guys in positions where they can be successful. And so it's our job to focus on the big picture, right, and then how do those things adjust, maybe small details within who's at quarterback or who's not.
Chris, on Monday, Coach Stoops said that he thought Texas might have the best group of wide receivers in the country. Just how did you look out on film? How does this group kind of stack up to the other ones you've gone up against this season? Or the past?
We played some really good ones, huh? We played some good ones. You talked about Ole Miss. You mentioned, talked Tennessee, and talked Florida. Florida's receiving core really dynamic. But I agree with Coach in terms of for the holistic and the depth that they have at the position. They're really good. They got guys who can run, big guys who can go catch the ball, challenge. Contested catches. They got guys who can play in the perimeter in terms of screens and things of that nature. So they're deep, well-rounded. It's going to be a challenge, but it's a challenge every year. And so when you come into this league, you understand that. The guys in our locker room, they salivate about that. They get excited about that challenge. And so I am as a coach as well, and looking forward to those guys going out there and compete.
Mentioned Max earlier. Did he come through that first game back in action feeling good?
Yeah, Max excited, man. Max competitive. He is a competitor at heart, you know what I mean? And so he's excited about the competition at hand, and I'm excited to see him, man, to get an opportunity to go and compete at a high level, and so it'll be fun for him. It'll be fun.
We've asked Stoops about, keeping the bowl streak alive, and, that's been a discussion, but sometimes, in smaller rooms, do you guys talk about that too in certain position groups when you guys are, in some meetings? Is that ever a talk of like, all right, and we got to do this for the program and lock in on that?
Yeah, our biggest thing is, hey, we want to get better day by day. We want to get better practice by practice. We want to get better game by game. And at the end of the day, if we're continuing to do those things, the results will be the results. Right, but that's the hard part about it, right? The process, man. The process is tough. Sometimes it looks really pretty, and sometimes it's gritty and it's ugly, right? But its key is to continue to fight to be consistent in that process. Good, bad, or indifferent, right? Let the results be the results, but good, bad, or indifferent, then we continue to take those steps. And that's the challenge, right? We talk about that as DBs because one play, you're a great player, right? And then one play, okay, whatever it may be, the average fan may see it as your mistake, but it may not be, right? You're an awful player. All right, but did I continue to grow? Does that make sense? And so that's the message that we talk about positionally is, man, continue to get better, right? Right in the moment, right outside the moment, let's learn and grow from those things. And so that's kind of been our message in terms of individually positioning, if that makes sense, in the DB room.
And going back to look at the film from this past week and having a chance to put so many young guys out there to get a look at, did anything surprise you all? Did you pleasant surprises?
Well, again, it was great for those guys, man, who've been growing, developing, and playing some special teams roles to get out there in some defensive scenarios and some offensive scenarios. It's funny, a lot of times we see it in practice, you know what I mean? So we kind of have an idea, right? But you guys don't always get a chance to see that, right? So it's not as many surprises in terms of positive. You may get a negative surprise, like, man, I did not like that, I did not like that, you know, but most of the time we have an idea of what we anticipate happening when they step on the grass.
Yeah, and Quay looked like he played outside cornerback, and I think he's played some in nickel or dime inside some this year. See a guy maybe going forward can be maybe like an Andrew where he slides inside and out, and just where do you all see him, and how have you seen him progress as a true freshman?
Yeah, Q Scott's done a really good job in terms of what we talked about early, kind of, you know, continuing to grow and develop, continuing to be consistent, right? Putting in those unseen hours that give you an opportunity to go play with confidence, right, and use the God-given ability that he has. And so we're excited about his future, just like all those guys, man. It's the process though for him, you know. And sometimes it's easy for those guys to understand it, and sometimes it's not, right? But he's done a great job of investing in that, right? And he's starting to see some of those benefits. Like I said, he's played a ton of for us on special teams throughout the year, and he's continued to grow. And so I don't know what the future holds for him, right? But at the end of the day, I do know, right, as long as he continues to develop and trust that process that we have in place, he's going to be successful because he's wired the right way.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Alex, Texas is a team you guys don't play, haven't played. How excited are you guys to go down there?
Man, I'm very excited. I've never been to Texas, so going down to Texas, I'm excited, and the whole team excited to play now.
Alex, how does it feel with the new position you've had to play in the recent weeks?
Man, it feels good. You know, I've been practicing, playing it from the spring to fall camp also. It's been a good adjustment for me. I feel comfortable at that spot.
Anything you need to work on there, perhaps?
Yeah, really just keep learning the old lineman. You know, keep getting my strength up.
How you guys getting ready for Quinn Ewers and those Texas wide receivers?
Man, we just preparing. You know, we just gotta focus on us. You know, making sure we good, our line good, our D line good, our linebackers and DBs.
Alex, all of a sudden you were like the most veteran guy out there without Dims Johnson and Derek Jackson. How was that different?
Yeah, it was a little different being the vet now, but it felt good though. It felt good, you know, leading the young guys and seeing them young guys get in and get some reps in.
Did you get to wear the helmet comm at all?
Yeah, I did. I had a helmet comm, you know.
How'd that go for you?
It went great. You know, we had great communication on the field. Made sure I got all the echoed all the calls to the D-line, linebackers, and the safeties.
You guys have been good in this situation this season where you're going in a big underdog, a tough challenge, but you've played well in these type of games. Why? What do you chalk that up to?
Man, we just gotta prepare right at practice. You know, just be consistent at practice. You know, just be consistent at practice, really.
How do you prepare for a scheme that has so much misdirection and moves a lot of different directions?
We just gotta focus on us. You know, get our eyes right, eyes at the right position, and start just doing our jobs.
Very good. Anybody else?